there's no room for fear. Green flag drops and the engines roar. 40 cars and we all want more. Mash the gases, we're on the line. 4 wide and we're feeling fine. Drifting close in a slipstream dance. Taking the corners in a high-speed trance. Through the chicane, it's side by side. On motor mouth, there's nowhere to White flag, need a perfect lap. All gas, no brakes to close that gap. Checkered waves in the race is won. Another battle is over and done. Just to the booth, hope they like the show. Victory lane is all I know. Sun's going down and the rig is on. iRacing is where I belong. Disco's lit and the drivers are here. In Bitepoint Racing, there's no room for fear. Green flag drops and the engines roar. 40 cars and we all want more. Mash the gases, we're on the line. 4 wide and we're feeling fine. Drifting close in a slipstream dance. Taking the corners in a high-speed trance. Through the chicane, it's side by side. On motor mouth, there's nowhere to White flag, need a perfect lap. All gas, no brakes to close that gap. Checkered waves in the race is won. Another battle is over and done. Just to the booth, hope they like the show. Victory lane is all I know. Sun's going down and the rig is on. iRacing is where I belong. Disco's lit and the drivers are here. In Bitepoint Racing, there's no room for fear. Green flag drops and the engines roar. 40 cars and we all want more. Mash the gases, we're on the line. 4 wide and we're feeling fine. Drifting close in a slipstream dance. Taking the corners in a high-speed trance. Through the chicane, it's side by side. On motor mouth, there's nowhere
Hello everybody and welcome to the Bitepoint Racing League Sports Car Challenge here this season from Mugello for the first of our endurance rounds of the season. There'll be 2 of these over the course of the 12 race schedule that takes us all the way to the 17th of July. It is 90 minutes tonight, as it will be in Barcelona in many weeks' time as well, when we have our final race of the season. Of course, different to the normal 60-minute races, adds its own interest and adds a pit stop indeed as well for all of these drivers. Less than 30 in the field here tonight, a little bit less than what we've seen in previous occasions, perhaps down to the circuit, which is Mugello this time around. Jim, it seems to be a popular choice this week for whatever reason, and you certainly believe that maybe it is the track choice that keeps numbers a little bit lower than normal for this first of 2 endurance races of the season.
Yeah, I think if anything, that's probably the reason that the numbers are down a little bit. That's the only thing I can attribute it to. It's just maybe a lot of people don't own this track, and this is a pretty late start for a 90-minute race. If you live on the east coast of the United States, we're talking it's going to be 9:30 when the green flag drops. That's a pretty late start if you have to get up early for work or whatever. So, I can see those 2 factors coming in, potentially. Yeah,
potentially so. Of course, we don't really know. But next time we'll be at the Red Bull Ring, a week after at Le Mans, and these are more circuits that maybe people have a little bit more, and maybe we'll see a few more as a result of that. But we'll see, of course. It is still early on in the season, though, to have all this. So yeah, let's see how they get on in the coming weeks. Qualifying is just drawing to a close at the moment, so I'll just talk about that before we go to any point standings or anything. Before we get going here, Harrison Holiday just coming over the line there was on course for a moment there to be quite close to Alain Aguilar, but not quite on this occasion. Just over 2 minutes remaining. And we're in the final part of LMP2 qualifying. Only 9 LMP2s in the field here today, or 9 with times. Tim Schaefer has not set a time yet. It would make it 10 to go with the 17 GT3s that we have here. See whether the likes of Turnbull, maybe Justin Negretti could improve maybe with these personal best sectors that they have. It's pretty close across the board really in this qualifying session. Top 7 covered by less than a second. But some chances to improve in the final couple of minutes here.
Yeah, Justin Bach seems to be on a pretty good little run here. David Turnbull just turned in a last purple sector, final sector. That jumped him up to 2nd place now.
Yeah, good improvement for him to move within a tenth of Alain Aguilar, who's in the pit lane after only 3 laps in this session, by the way, and thinks that is enough. And he looks like he's correct at the moment. Justin Bach with a couple of personal best sectors here, crossing the line as well. That could be an improvement. It will
nice
be
one.
Up to 5th place for Justin Bach. Harrison Holiday has gone faster than anybody in the first sector, and he's coming towards the final turn now as well. See just how slow that middle sector actually was, because it doesn't matter how fast the first sector is, he could have undone it there with the second. Let's see though, it comes out of the final turn now, trying to get at least back to the front row where he was earlier, if not past Alain Aguilar for the top of this session, and this is going to do it. He's going to go to the pole. Harrison Holiday takes the pole position by less than a tenth of a second.
Wow. Yeah, and I think most of the contenders, excuse me, for that, old Blake Ward's thrown up a purple sector right off the bat there. Let's see what that's going to be all about.
And Mendoza with some personal bests across the line now, but he's nowhere near where he needs to be, although he does improve on his own lap time. He doesn't improve his position. So the checker flag waves now. The half an hour has elapsed and we are underway with the final times. Blake Ward will be the first of these final challenges to Harrison Holiday, and what a turn up this would be. He's 8 tenths of a second behind Holiday at the moment. He needs to gain over a quarter of a second to even improve his position here, over a third of a second indeed. He needs to even improve on his position here at the moment. Now, can he do that or even more coming out of the final turn here? It's looking good for him so far. He's going to continue to the line, so clearly this is an improvement of some sort. Is it enough, though, to maybe spring a surprise? It's going to be close. It could be the front row. Oh, it's just about third. He's 15 thousandths off of second place.
Wow.
What a great late lap time that was. Blake Ward's first competitive lap time, really, of the session comes right at the end, and it's within a tenth of pole.
Yeah, and we got John Voigt out here on his last lap. I don't know if I don't think this is going to be an improvement. Maybe.
It still could be.
Yeah, he might move up a spot or so.
He's not going to gain any Pro-Am places in the LMP2 field. He's already ahead of Mendoza, who's the only other driver in that class. Although Tim Schaefer is now in the session, and he didn't qualify, but he is in the session at least. Let's hope that he starts the race with the others. We'll see about that as well as Voigt comes up towards the line at the moment. That will be an improvement, and he might move up to the top 5.
Oh.
He does, 5th place. So that's a big gap between the Pro-Am first and second there with that lap from Voigt.
That's actually, quite a nice lap from him. I have to say that was pretty impressive, and that's going to about wrap it up, I think.
Yep, that will do it for qualifying. And so, while we're waiting for the warm-up and the race and whatever, let's have a look at the championship standings heading into tonight, because we're 3 rounds in now, so getting a little bit more serious. Blake Ward is leading the way in LMP2 Pro by 33 points, ahead of Alan Aguilar. Justin Negretti also in the top 3. Arjun Singh, who's sadly not here tonight, 4th, ahead of David Turnbull. Bit of a gap then back to Holiday and Maori, who are tied for 6th, ahead of Nicholas Secrest, Justin Bock and Jemmy Placencia, rounding out the top 10. Pro-Am is being led by Jacob Sheridan in LMP2, although he's not here. Neither is Mike Walsh in second. So Matthias Mendoza, or Roderick Mendoza, as he gets appearing in iRacing, is in 3rd place, ahead of John Voigt, who has just taken the pole there in Pro-Am. Timothy Schaefer's the other one in the session. He is 7th in the points.
Mendoza
said
to call him by his last name with the confusions over the names. He said he's good with just going by Mendoza. So passing that on.
That's not really the point. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Zach Houston is the leader of GT3 Pro by 19 points over Cole Malley. And by the way, we'll run through the GT3, obviously qualifying, what happened there in a while. Francis Crosby is 3rd, only just in front of Omet Ohm and Paul Basson. Then you get a bit of a gap back to John Boswick, Evan Davis and Nathan Velez, the other point scorers this season. Still waiting for Jed Cotman and some others to get on the board. Rodrigo Dessi is leading in the Pro-Ams for GT3. He has taken the pole in that class here tonight, by the way. He's 2nd overall in GT3, a very good lap. David Volpini Archgoer keeping him honest early on. Christopher Grondin and Jordan Cox are tied for 4th, ahead of Charlie Crow outside the top 5. Jeremiah Cohen, Lorenzo Rujo, Justin Welsh and Tyler Govangdon, the top 10 in this field. So that's how they stand going into this latest round of the championship.
Let's take a look at this interesting circuit while we got a chance.
Okay, yeah, go on then. We'll take a look at Mugello right in Tuscany, sort of towards the top end of the rather narrower slither of Italy that comes down into the Mediterranean. It's hills all around us here, very hilly part of the world, and this circuit certainly does take in that, a very rural area, unlike some of the other Italian racetracks. As you can see, the characteristics of that borne out as well when we watch this onboard lap, which we're about to begin. Just going through initially, a little bit of a kink on the straight here, which doesn't really mean anything, just a slight oddity of this track before you come downhill in towards turn number 1. Gravity rather running away from you down here in towards the first turn. Going to grab that apex, very tricky to do indeed. Before you get up the hill, got to be careful on the power here, even in these cars that all have traction control. Then the first of a number of chicanes that are rather similar really, where you're looking for the second apex, the second of the 2 in the chicane, to really get a good run onto the next short straight. And you'll do it the same here through turn 4 and 5 again, before that next straight downhill again now, after that rise you saw coming out of turn number 1. Properly downhill, in fact, in towards turn 6. Very committed corner over the curb there, and then through the left-hander as well of turn 7. Double right-hander coming up next, back uphill again. The rolling hills continue on. The Arrabbiata turns, super committed high-speed turns. The LMP2s especially are going to be very enjoyable through there as they go over the rise and then back down another hill, down on the brakes towards turn 10 here. Again, a chicane, you're looking to maximise the second one of a little bit more. Then you get the run towards turn 12, which really kicks off this final sector, which actually sometimes, depending on who you ask, starts just before turn 10 rather than just after 11. But anyway, final sector is rather short anyway. Around the hairpin first of all, very long right-hander, then the chicane, completely flat out now with no anti-cut curves on the insides of those chicanes anymore. And then the run down in towards the final turn as well, very steeply downhill here, getting on the power and coming onto the front straight. It's like a bit of cooked spaghetti dropped on the floor, this racetrack. It's just wiggles around, double backed on itself again and again, and those chicanes just keep coming at you again and again as well. They're very frequent at this circuit indeed.
Yeah, indeed they are. This is a great circuit. I really do love this place. We've talked about that at length this week, but yeah, I really do. I really enjoy this place.
It's going to play host to our first endurance round of the season. And you were talking to the guys about what that means for strategy here, and initially confused about why they would on earth they'd be making 2 pit stops in one day. Now, to be fair, I mean, it's not completely out of the question, because at Monza there was a bit of discussion about that, and that was only an hour-long race. But here with a 90-minute race, it is going to be a little bit different in terms of pit strategy, isn't it? I don't think it's too much more open in terms of the way that the windows are. I don't think the windows are any wider. However, they will have to make 2 pit stops, and that is the big difference.
Yeah, and from what of the information I'm gathering, the last pit stop is probably not going to need but about 10, 12 laps of fuel, something like that. So it shouldn't be, the last one should be a pretty quick one. So I think more than likely we might see some tire changes on that first pit stop. Just that way they don't have to run the full 90 minutes on a set of tires. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah, maybe the drivers will decide to change tyres, I suppose, but we haven't got the scorching track temperatures, which you certainly can get around here.
Yeah.
Just did a race earlier where the track temperature was 54 Celsius here, up in the sort of 130, 140 range. Only 77 degrees Fahrenheit here tonight, which is in the 30s Celsius, low 30s, but it's nothing too bad. It might even actually be high 20s, but anyway. Harrison Holiday with that late lap time there takes the pole here at Mugello in front of Alan Aguilar alongside, who'll be hoping to avoid those slowdowns here tonight. I'm sure he'll find some somewhere based on the last couple of weeks. Blake Ward, the championship leader, starts from third in front of David Turnbull, and then you get to the first of the Pro-Ams, which is John Voigt, who will be third alongside Justin Negretti. Then back to the pros for row 4, Justin Bock and Scott Mowry. Roderick Mendoza and Tim Schaefer then on row 5. They are both Pro-Ams. Schaefer didn't qualify, starts from 10th. Cole Malley takes the pole in the GT3 Pros ahead of Rodrigo Dessi, takes the Pro-Am pole, and the next 5 are all pros, so he's got quite a gap over the others. Paul Basson, Jed Cotterman, first of all Porsche row, then Ahmet Ohm and Zach Houston. Francis Crosby, the final of the GT3 Pros, is just in front of Jordan Cox, who's second in Pro-Am. Jeremiah Cohen third in that class, ahead of Oliver Brooks, rounding up the top 20 overall. David Volpe and Justin Welsh then on row 11 overall, ahead of Tyler Crow and Chris Grondin. And then RG Dubek and Blake Pietenpol on the final complete row, and Lorenzo Rio at the back of the field on his own in 27th. It is a quieter field, but for these LMP2s, it will not feel like that, really. There's only 10 of them. There's 17 of the GT3s, and so especially first time round in traffic, it's going to make it feel very busy. Yes, indeed it will. One of the races that we did do this week was GT3s GTEs and GTPs, and the traffic was quite aggravating, I guess. They were struggling a little bit with it. There was a couple of incidents, and to be honest, there wasn't even this many cars on the track. So yeah, it's a big talking point around here. Of course, these LMP2s slower than those, and so the speed difference will be a little bit different, but same principle, I suppose, with the traffic. It's very overcast, isn't it? It is.
These conditions,
for whatever reason.
almost foggy, really.
Yeah, well, I think it is probably fog that's descended, actually. So, just shows you they can have all sorts of weather here at Mugello, not just the sunshine, which is so synonymous with Italy and so on, especially by European standards. Anyway, 11 a.m. on the 22nd of May, which is earlier today, and that's not good conditions, really, especially if it was actually today's date and real weather at 11. It's very, very sunny and warm in Italy at the moment. So it would have been a challenge in terms of tyres, but drivers will be a bit glad. Maybe not glad that the fog is here, but certainly glad the temperatures are a bit lower.
Yeah, that's a good point. You had, the conditions that we saw, and oh, look at this, would you? You can hardly even see from up here.
Yeah. Well, no, I wouldn't look at this. I can't see.
You've been hanging around me too long. Starting to rub off on you. A year ago, you would have never made that joke.
Maybe that's right. Oh dear. Well,
this is going to be a good one, though. I got a feeling this is we're going to see some action here. I just hope that we can keep the little packs where somebody doesn't have a little mishap and we lose our battles. Like our top 3 in the LMPs our top 4 even should run pretty close together.
Based on qualifying, they absolutely should run that close together. I mean, stuff can happen throughout the race, can't it? That really spreads it out over the course of the day. But yeah, hopefully they do stay close throughout. I mean, there's bound to be periods where it ebbs and flows a little bit with 90 minutes on the clock, of course. But qualifying was exceptionally close, and that should bode well for the race. House and Holiday will bring them to the green here in a moment with Alan Aguilar alongside the number 1 car. Blake Ward in the championship lead, not far behind. Aguilar already, by the way, 33 points, as you would have seen in that standings rundown earlier, behind in the LMP2 class, which is quite a big gap at this early stage of the season. It's certainly been Blake Ward's early start, really. He's been getting off to a nice lead, but he's starting from the second row here this time around. House and Holiday is going to be bringing them to the green, though. Here from Mugello, the first of 2 endurance round in the Bitepoint Racing Sports Car Challenge is underway, and House and Holiday not fooling anybody by going pretty early there on the pit straight. Alan Aguilar was waiting for it, and he can only just slip into second place there in front of Blake Ward as they get single file on the way down towards turn 1. At least the front 4 did initially. Now they'll fan out again 2 wide or so. Side by side for second as Blake Ward looks to take that plate. Oh, in contact, and 2 spins in the background. 2 spins already. David Turnbull, the one who's gone around properly. Justin Negretti also involved.
Oh, there goes Aguilar.
And Aguilar's gone now as well into the gravel. A messy start in the LMP2s.
Bad, messy. Oh,
big trouble towards turn 1 in GT3. That's a massive crash for Paul Basson in the GT3 Pro class. That is massive. And you've seen it time and again here on the pit straight. It seems the bend in the straight just makes people forget really what's happening a little bit. Throws people off a little bit. The amount of contact that you can see down the pit straight here on a usual day is quite extraordinary. And that gap now being left by Basson. Omet Omi's going to really take advantage here, move ahead of Jed Cotterman. But they all gain a place with Basson spinning down the front straight like that.
yeah, we're going to go back and look at that here in just a second. I just want to kind of let things get a little bit sorted there. So, there's a mess off the track, and dangerous rejoin there. Holy cow. All right.
Houston and Cotterman get through, but Zach Houston gets past Cotterman as well. So up to second, but look at the gap that Cole Malley's going to get as a result of this. Already 2.5 seconds in front after just 1 lap because of all the drama in GT3. Now there's been more drama in LMP2. There's a Scott Mowry, I think, who's been involved. And there might have been others around as well. Murray's got a meat wall, so it must be him. And,
right.
There's not too much damage actually visible on that car, but clearly there is
right,
internally.
Let's see
He's in the pit lane already.
This is Mowry.
A bit wide through the hairpin, and then he's offline in time for the chicane. And he hits the wall as well.
Too. Big hit, okay. All right, so that was that. Let's go back to Arroyo has had numerous incidents. I think this is what initially set it off.
Synchronized spinning?
Yeah, they were. They should synchronize spinning in the Olympics. And then he's had several other off tracks. He is really kind of struggling there a little bit.
Paul Basson's incident, I presume, on the way towards turn one is.
Yeah, I just went back to live just for a second, while I go find that one.
Scott Mowry comes out the pit lane there, only in front of the GTs who've been delayed here, rather than any LMP2s. Here is Basson's incident. As I say, this bend in the straight just seems to just send people a bit loopy sometimes.
Well,
side-to-side contact with Dessay, who ends up in the wall on the left-hand side himself. And Basson in the wall hard on the right.
We literally saw that earlier today, right there. 2 Corvettes did the same exact thing. They didn't wreck, but they came together in that exact spot.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We saw, know, I've seen a lot of racing at Mugello this week, and the amount of side-to-side contact that happens on the pit straight there is unusual. And I think it's because of the bend in the straight there. That just means that you just have to adjust your line ever so slightly, and it's a subconscious thing. You don't you don't actually have to do anything to move, but it does change the behaviour between the two drivers.
We lost Amet.
Oh no.
I have no idea what happened to her, but
she's still stopped in the early part of the lap. So this is quite behind in terms of the incident and where it would be. Here we go. This will be it. Oh dear, and the camera's turned off as well. It's all going wrong.
It is all going wrong, isn't it?
It's turn 6 and 7. This was earlier. She went wide here earlier. We saw this on, I think that looked like lap number 1. This is earlier in the day when Houston and Cotterman both got through. Cotterman, by the way, back in front of Houston again, as Negretti gets a 15-second time penalty for contact with David Turnbull at turn 1.
All right, let's go. I don't see what happened to her. I wonder if she lost her VR, and that's why her camera is not showing, because she was showing us in-car camera.
Or she's lost absolutely everything. I mean, she's not even in the server anymore.
Yeah, she must have had a failure. I'm sure she'll probably send us a message. That's craziness. Who knew? All right, let's see what we got going on here. I got to find some action on the track and a camera. There we go.
Pulpit ahead of Cone, just about holding on to second place in the Prime class. Jordan Cox now leading in the Primes, by the way. Rodrigo Dessy dropping a long way down with that contact. He's already been in pit lane. He's only just crossing the line now, just to show how far behind he is. So, I mean, we were talking earlier about the season that Rodrigo Dessy was having, and maybe dominance is the wrong word, but 19 points ahead of the rest in GT3 Pro-Am already in this race, and performing well on Friday nights, but this is not a great start from him, and I think this shows the difference between a pro and a pro, doesn't it? Because he does have the pace to stay up there, just to see with the leaders, but he can't stay up there every week with them.
Yeah, I think that's probably accurate. As Mowry's working his way back up to these GT3s. So did you see the note there? 15-second penalty for Negretti for the lap 1 incident?
Saw that pop up on the screen when it did at the time. That was with David Turnbull on lap 1. Harrison Holiday and Blake Ward were side by side a moment ago. Well, I'll say a moment ago. Is into turn 1. They're around the other half of the lap now. But that was a real challenge to Holiday's lead. Ward and Aguilar not letting him go. And this is what you want to see in the early part of a race before traffic interrupts them. 3 for the lead. Still fighting away here, these 3.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. They've got a good gap to traffic, too, so they're going to get a little while here.
10 minutes or so?
Yeah, that's we'll take it before it really gets crazy.
It will certainly change the race, having these GT3s in the way. I mean, Dessy is behind them already, and maybe they did have to pass him on the racetrack, actually, but either way, it wasn't too bad. Here is the view from Aguilar as he closes in. Tries to anyway on Blake Ward in towards turn 1. That is not going to happen on this occasion. Drive-through penalty meantime coming to there you go, Lorenzo Arujo for an unsafe rejoin. So he currently running in 9th place, gained 2 places off the start. Mostly though on RJ Dubek and Rodrigo Dessy, but that's going to be undone now with this drive-through penalty.
Yeah, and I believe we got a look at that rejoin when he did it, and it was pretty unsafe.
And I don't think it actually caused an incident, but it doesn't really matter. If you rejoin unsafely, then you don't have to be punished for it, and it is one of those things that carries a harsher penalty than maybe some of the other things. For example, the penalty for Negretti is a 15-second time penalty, and that's going to be applied after the race rather than the drive-through that Arujo will have to serve in the next few laps.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm glad that I'm not the person that has to make those decisions. I have a lot of respect for that. It's a hard job, and you're never going to please pretty much anybody, really.
It is a pretty thankless task, and very good at providing us with the information as well on the decisions. These guys before they go out for everybody. Cox and Volpe side by side for the lead in GT3 Prior. Meantime, through the middle part of the lap. And it's close for second overall as well between Ward and Aguilar, but they are side by side for the lead here. Cox trying to hold on. He'll have the outside for the next 3 turns if he's not careful here. Needs to get clear, but he can't in time for the right-handers. And here they come. David Volpe is surely going to now get into the lead, and he's in danger here of Cone getting through as well, though Jeremiah Cone's going to go off. He goes off at the top of the hill there, trying to make up places. Brooks will go through, so does Welsh as well. Still holding on though is Jordan Cox on the outside there. The third of the 3 though finally does for him. Volpe round the outside the next turn, gets into the lead in the GT3 Pro-Am class.
Yeah, this is quite a battle here, and it's right behind them too. It's hot and heavy here. 6 or 7 cars deep.
Pretty much well, not everybody, sorry, in the Prime class, but quite a lot of them in the Prime class involved. That's going to be close. Well, Basson there was side by side with Pietenpol, that looks like. The GT3 driver, so he's actually quite damaged here, Basson, after that crash, as you'd expect, so he'll be looking forward to the pit window opening when it does at some point shortly. Paul Basson, by the way, getting a 15-second time penalty, I'm presuming for that incident on lap number 1 there, even though he was the main one who dropped down. Of course, Tessie also had some delay, so one of them was, I'd imagine, going to get a penalty for it, and it is Paul Basson.
Yep, race control out there doing a great job again this week. I tell you, the manner in which they handle them and the speed they handle them in is pretty impressive, I have to say.
This is still the fight for second in GT3 Pro. Cotterman and Houston, the 2 Porsches who slipped through on Amet Ohm before she had troubles. It does look like technical troubles in this race. These 2 very much left to fight on their own. Cole Malley has absolutely gotten away as a result. We said this on lap number 1 that he'd already gotten away a little bit, but now he's using his speed to really extend the margin, and 7.5 seconds in 10 minutes is impressive.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I was reading the message from Amet. She, whole computer crashed.
Yeah, that's right. A shame to see, but she doesn't much like Mugello anyway, based on what we heard before Wednesday. So that doesn't help. I mean, you keep pointing out that the Audi doesn't help her, but I'm not sure she personally is much of a fan of Mugello in any case.
Yeah, I don't think she was. I mean, some tracks you can't just. It's hard to jump in and put 15 or 20 minutes practice in and expect to be, quick. Some of them would just require more than that. I mean, she's going to hit a patch of tracks that she knows well, though. I'm sure she'll be fine.
Well, it's a European season. It's European circuits throughout this season. If that's your thing. Red Bull Ring next week. Back to the 60-minute races as well, compared to the 90-minute enduro, which this is tonight. Here's the leaders still. 12 minutes in and they're still not in traffic, which is a little bit unusual. I guess the GT3 field must have started closer to the LMP2 field than it normally does. And I don't think that's a bad thing, to be honest, but 12 minutes in, we're normally in traffic by now, I would have thought, but not yet tonight.
Yeah, and I think that there's a bit of luck in that, like the GT3 cars that got in trouble where they came back out on the track. You know, they just didn't happen to come right out in front of the LMPs like last week they did.
It's Tyler Crow getting back past Jeremiah Cohn here. And was challenging at the one stage for second until he went wide through the second Arrabbiata, and now he's behind Tyler Crow as well in the GT3 Pro-Am class. Before they head to the chicane, there they go through. Again, not in traffic yet, so this race just very much always, even though we're nearly 15 minutes in, feels like it's very much in an early stage until we see this traffic for the first time.
Yeah, it's coming though.
Well, won't be this lap.
It does seem like it's taking a little longer though today for some reason.
I mean, the difference in terms of speed shouldn't be too different. The fastest lap time for LMP2s is about 7 seconds or so quicker than the GT3s. So
in a perfect
a
world,
minute
what is
40
that?
lap
That's,
times.
Yeah, so
100 seconds.
20 minutes.
Yeah. Based on as a pass down the final corner, based on pure maths, that should mean the they don't catch them for 13, 14 laps. That's not quite how racing works, obviously. But
it's not pure math.
It isn't, as it turns out. No, because first thing to remember is that when the GT3 field starts, it strings out, and so those at the back are immediately a lot closer to the LMP2s than they were at the beginning. And you've got the class split in this series, although, as I say, I'm pretty convinced that this start has been a little bit closer. They've been a little bit closer to the two groups than maybe they have been in some other races this season. And that has meant it's taken a little bit longer than normal. But again, don't think it's a bad thing, actually. But now Holiday's going to be into that traffic. Just see them coming through the final sector now. And there's a fight in front of them indeed. Pittenpol and Grondin side by side right in front of Harrison Holiday here, who is going to sit through, and he's lucky they got single file just when he arrived to them there.
Yes, and he sent it deep.
Oh!
He hung on to it, but holy cow. And you can see Ward is having a little bit of a harder time getting through there.
But that other route there, I'm not really sure what that route's for on the outside there. A small sort of access road, but doesn't really lead anywhere.
Is that the
anyway,
the access road that we witnessed a car run down earlier today?
Turn 6 and 7 that was through earlier on. That one does actually make sense because it saves people from going into the grass and having an accident through turn 6, which is quite a high-speed corner. But that's lying on the very, very outside of turn 12, where there's already a little bit of tarmac run off there anyway. And for some reason, there's a small marcation of where you should be driving, even though you're off the road. I'm not really sure what that's all about, but anyway, Holiday used it, and he's still in the lead of this race, past that little starter. Oh no!
No, he's not.
And now he's found the wall. Spinning out at turn number 3. Harrison Holiday's lead of 9 laps comes to a crushing end. Only 15 minutes into this one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's got some damage there. It's going to be interesting to see here how bad it is, because it looks like he caught it with the front end of the car.
Yeah, definitely went in nose first. We're not going to find out whether he's got suspension damage for a while as it continues to turn left and right. I don't think he does, but definitely has bodywork damage.
It doesn't seem to be ill handling right now because he's going pretty good. So I think it's may have some bodywork damage, like you said, but I don't think it's anything major.
Yeah, I definitely guess bodywork damage. The understeer could be a little bit unhelpful, but again, the pit stop window will not be that far away already, really, for these guys. So they might have an opportunity to come in here. All these guys pretty shortly. No meatball, so he will be able to carry on.
This RJ Dubeck.
Yep.
He's got a black flag already. There's no way that's incident limits, is it?
Well, you wouldn't have thought so, would you? But
no, it's not.
No.
Did he pit? He hasn't pitted, huh? No. I have no idea how you get a black flag. without pitting and not incidents.
Unless he's been assigned a penalty that race control are about to tell us about that would come up in that
possible, but I don't think those penalties show up the same way.
No,
you know,
I didn't.
Because if that were the case, then Arroyo would have had one for the drive-through.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was thinking that. Oh my word! It is the incident limit already. 18x in less than 18 minutes.
Oh,
Dubek.
Well, I mean, is there a prize for that or something?
There should be.
Holy!
Oh, another theory. Well, it turns out this theory is wrong, but thanks for this theory thanks to Wolf in the YouTube chat for this theory. Didn't serve a slowdown potentially. That could be a black flag as well.
That's true.
But
yes,
but no, actually, the more outlandish one than that was correct. Incident limit after 18x in less than 18 minutes.
Yeah.
That is.
I mean, there should be a prize for that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's a good prize, but there should be a prize. But that is a good point, Wolf. I didn't. Yeah, that didn't click for me there. But yeah, it could have been potentially could have been a slowdown.
Slowdown unserved, absolutely a good theory. But but
this
anyway,
is nice little battle right here for the lead in AMS.
Dozer and Voigt fighting for the win here, just in front of Schaefer, who, despite not practicing or qualifying in this server, has stuck with these two rather well in the opening 20 minutes, although we're not into the meat of this race yet. Only the leaders are into the meat of the traffic for the first time round. These Pro-Ams have not really experienced any traffic yet, bar one or two stragglers. Mendoza able to hold on to the lead here and stay ahead of John Voigt, who qualified inside the top 5, well quicker than Mendoza. The opposite way round now, though, in this Pro-Am fight, which is sometimes what you can see. Someone exceptional in qualifying and then overtaken again in the race, and it's all happened very quickly here for Voigt.
Well, Paul Basson looks like he's had another incident.
It's still been in to repair his damage, and has a spin through turn 2.
You could just, well, luckily the track temperatures are cool, but you could just see them back tires screaming there.
I do wonder whether we're going to see pit stops here in this 90-minute race for tyres. Obviously, they're going to need
from
fuel.
What I heard, there's definitely going to be some people who take tires. I'm pretty sure of that. Some level of strategy was revealed to me, but so we'll see. But
yeah, I think.
If they're going to do it, they'll do it on the first stop, though, because the second stop's going to be too short to bother with tires.
Depends. Obviously, that excludes those who've had issues and are taking a short stop early because of damage or whatever.
Course. Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part.
This battle right here, and now they're around a troubled car. They're going to split him. This is Basson they're going around.
It is. That wasn't great communication from Mendoza there, because Basson's shaken up from the last few laps of damage and incidents and whatever, and Mendoza didn't really make that clear at all which side he was going to go to. He's actually going to get away with it in the end because his line through the final turn wasn't interrupted compared to Voigt, who did pull down low there to get through. But Mendoza hangs on just about. Could do with communicating that a little bit better in future, though. Otherwise, he could land himself in a little bit more trouble. More investigations coming through, of course, and more results soon as well. Harrison Holiday, though, has had another incident in the last couple of moments. The former race leader. Oh no, and they might be involved here. Crosby was in the mid. Oh, so he avoids Crosby, bounces over the curb, straight into a Corvette, and goes for a spin at turn 3 for the second time today.
Oh my gosh. Well, is that going to be an unsafe rejoin for Crosby right there?
Well, I mean, he was already sat there in the middle of the road, wasn't he?
Well, he kind of just pulled out and then didn't go, and
an interesting one. I think, he might argue, and I think it's reasonable to argue, if I'd have stayed where I was, I would have been even in a more dangerous position than when I moved. But we'll see whether race control have any sympathy to that idea.
These guys are pretty strict up there. I don't know if sympathy is something they hand out.
Harrison Holiday would certainly not be hoping for sympathy from for him, I suppose, because that did delay him. It did put him over the curb there. And yet, note through from race control. Nothing Crosby could really do there. Strange, because he was already on track. So need to be a new definition, and it wasn't a rejoin. It's not a rejoin if you're already on track, I suppose.
Yeah, that's true.
In the purest sense of the word. But I'll take your point.
That's a valid point, though.
That.
He didn't rejoin. He spun and was still on the racing surface. So
yeah. And I do agree with him that there wasn't too much he could have done there. It's pretty unfortunate the way he was ended up landing, and unfortunate that Harrison Holiday was coming around the corner seconds later with somebody on his left there, unable to really go anywhere himself. So it was a bit unfortunate all round, really.
I'll tell you what, Harrison Holiday has jumped right in the middle of this Pro-Am battle and has put some distance between our first and second place guys who are fighting it out pretty hard. And he's kind of wedged his way in there, and now he's kind of stuck in there. Probably got some damage to the car. In fact, I would say we know he does, really.
Yeah, definitely. I think that car's understeering a lot more than it was before.
Yeah, and I mean, he seems
damage.
like he's almost trying to let Voigt go, but maybe not. I don't know.
So you can see there, by the way, an incident a couple of laps ago, investigated by or for against whatever you want to call it, Zach Houston. Well, he's already just received a penalty there, 15 seconds for contact on Crosby. So that's how Crosby was in the spin in the first place.
This is not on Crosby though. Here,
this is
wow.
So is that the incident that's just being investigated now?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the receiving end of that one.
I think that's not on him. Let's see. Okay, so the other car never got down to the apex. You got to give him. I don't know. You got opinions about that or what?
I don't think that was Houston's fault. Yeah, the Mustang wasn't even really on the apex there on the left hand side. Who would that have been? Was that David Volpe?
Maybe. Yeah,
maybe.
Possibly.
We're just going to end up listing Mustangs, aren't we?
I know, right? Well, he does have a white Mustang too, so.
We got a 1 out of 2 chance of being right there, because Volpe and Pete and Paul are in the only Mustangs. So.
Well,
point flip.
But that's him, because it's got that blue stripe down the roof too. So that was him.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I would throw a ton of fault on him either. I mean, he didn't quite get down to the line, but then I guess you could argue that he was given plenty of room as well. I don't know. I'm glad I don't have to make those decisions. I really am.
No, I think that one for me is pretty clear, but we'll see what race control decides to say about it. There's plenty of stuff to get through, because that was only put into the investigations a couple of laps after it happened, which shows that there's just a little bit of a backlog at the moment. That will obviously clear itself out through the middle of this race as the incidents hopefully slow down. Here is the final turn indeed. John Voigt in behind Mendoza, still one of the most reliable battles that we've had so far in the LMP2 class, and it's for the lead in Pro-Am with Tim Schafer nowhere to be seen. It is between these two for this race, and Mendoza hanging on much better in the race than he did in the qualifying session.
Yeah, that's been a good battle. I mean, and I think it's going to continue to be a good battle, short of maybe some fuel strategy or pit stops, or it could get them separated a little bit. But this is a nice little battle here too between Grondin and is that Ricardo there? No, that is Blake Pittenpool and Grondin.
Yeah, Chris Grondin right behind him. 20th overall. Dubek's in pit lane again, by the way, for another penalty, and they might have just given it up. Oh no, he's back out again. Well,
he's gonna hit the DQ limit before long. Our friends in race control should tell us what his penalty count is up to now. We have a running total. Can he score? Can he continue at this pace of incidents to minutes? I mean, of course, we're just picking just because, but.
I mean, I didn't really take too much notice of the DQ limit in this series, because I thought, well, there's nobody going to be getting more than one drive-through. But But now look, so yeah, this is proving very tricky early on. No further action on the Volpe and Houston incident.
I can see that. I think you probably disagreed with that, but I can see that.
Well, yeah, Houston will definitely disagree, but that's why the drivers don't make the race control decisions. 20 incident points for Dubek already. So
he's slowed way down. I mean, he's 7 minutes behind now.
I mean, that's an incident every 90 seconds. I mean, come on now.
I mean, he's crazily up in his average there. Look, or lowering his average, whatever you would call that. I guess
whichever way you want to look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, as I say earlier on, there was an incident happening every minute for.
Yeah, it's quite disappointing that he slowed down now to.
Just in Welsh there, has got the wiper going on for God knows why. But
I hit mine all the time by accident.
In real life or in the sim?
No, in the sim. Because the way when I rotate my hands over hard, my palm will touch the button that is my wiper button. Yeah. No, not in real life.
I was going to say, in real life, you get to hear that horrible scraping noise of a wiper going across a dry windscreen, which is not a nice sound. It's like nails on a chalkboard, isn't it? It's just
not quite as bad as nails on a chalkboard.
No, but I think it's it's in the league table of best of the rest. I would say. I
mean, it is probably up there in the best of the rest. Yes. So what movie? Since we have 90 minutes, and we're going to go ahead and throw some pop culture out there for you. I told you it's pop culture. I'm going to educate you a little at a time. What movie is famous, or should I say, what movie had a very famous nails on the chalkboard scene that drug out for literally 6 or 8 seconds of nails across the chalkboard?
God, I mean that's making me shiver thinking about the idea of watching that.
It was that bad too. It was every bit of that bad.
No. I mean, do I want to know the answer to this? I don't know the answer, but as you rightly guessed, I'm presuming.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that is horrific to even think about.
Are you familiar with the Steven Spielberg movie Jaws?
Oh, I have. Obviously heard of it, yes.
Yes.
I mean, one of my big fears is the ocean, so I don't think that's a place for me.
Really?
That film.
Oh, you haven't seen it, though?
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's a terror. I mean, look, that is probably my biggest fear in life, the ocean. That is the last film I should be watching.
Well, I would agree that if you are already fearful of the ocean, watching Jaws is probably not going to help that in any way, shape, or form.
No, I mean, I don't know what will help. It can't make it much worse.
Finding Nemo. You watch that.
Yeah.
Little Mermaid.
I mean,
those will help.
I just don't like any of it. I really hate it.
Well,
all my life I've lived as far away from the sea as possible, which I know is not that possible.
What is crazy is that I'm the exact opposite of that.
I know,
As we see Oliver Brooks here, I have never lived more than 60 miles from an ocean, or in this case, Gulf of Mexico. Never lived more than 60 miles from the water.
I mean, you make that sound like that's not a very long way. I grew up 80 miles away, and I live now much closer than that, but still, by 50 miles away. But that, that's
but I'm saying that's the furthest I've ever lived away.
I know. I'd like it to be further.
A little off-track action there for the Corvette with Cox.
Yeah, here comes Brooks, and this is got to happen quickly because Cox was the leader, and he might be second again here in a moment, but the leader is getting away because of this fight for second. Whoever it's going to be have to get themselves organised, and Cox pulls in front, moves back to second again in front of Brooks, and these two are costing themselves time trailing Volpe at the moment.
They are, and Volpe is out there, good solid. Well, now 5 seconds or more, so he's comfortable. Pit stops are going to be coming soon. We're at lap the LMP cars are at lap 19. They're probably going to go 22 to 24 laps. Let's check in on the fuel situation and see what that's looking like.
I mean, they won't be able. I mean, they won't be able to go, further than another 5 or 6 laps, I'd say, from here. Given they're on lap 20, just based on time, I'm thinking about here. If they can get to 45 minutes, then that will be a one-stop race, obviously. But they won't manage that, and neither will the GTs either. No. I wouldn't imagine. Unless anybody is really saving. A big spin for Blake Bitepoint. It's not the Pro-Am leading Mustang, but it is Bitepoint, and he has brought loads of gravel onto the racetrack, as you may have just seen there. Unusual place to find yourself, actually.
Yeah, it was. I'm actually kind of curious how he ended up there.
Yeah, on his own. He has got a BMW behind him, sort of, but not that close. Just drops it by himself. Getting a lot of power there, and he just about saves it from going in the wall by snapping it back the other way again.
He did save it from getting in the wall, but he did bring just a tiny amount of debris on. God, look at it coming off the car there. I didn't see it the first time like that. Yeah, it was really dumping it out there. And he's decided to go ahead and pit.
Not a massive problem at that chicane, but I mean, in some other places you can absolutely go off there very easily.
That's a black flag. Drive-through penalty.
I mean, we were just... who else has got one? There's Houston. Zach Houston's got one as well. We just got the message as well from Race Control. They can see the incident limit points, obviously, and they say incident counts are climbing quickly. And we should expect to see lots more drive-throughs in the next few minutes.
Well, let's see what brought out Zach Houston. This is what triggered his. So this was his last incident, which is... well, that's going to be a 2X because he lost control of the vehicle.
That's 3.
Huh?
Wouldn't he have got a 3rd for rolling back into the gravel like that as well?
No, that's a 2.
No?
Yeah, that's just a 2. If you lose control of the vehicle and spin, it's a 2. If you get an off track, it's 1. But not, once you
spun and then went off track.
No, it doesn't. It's still just 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, if I'm
what
in the hell?
He has no interest in coming back out, does he, Zach Houston? He's retired from this race. That's he's seen enough tonight. He's not enjoying himself around here, and he's retired already.
All right, hold on. For my own entertainment, I need to see that again.
He tries to turn hard right into a pit garage there, presumably his own pit garage.
No, he was trying to hit that car.
Well, maybe. I mean,
who is that?
Either are going to be.
Is that Crosby? Crosby just parked it up there, huh? I guess.
Isn't that who Houston hit earlier?
Yeah.
Crosby's been in there for a long time, by the way.
Oh, I mean, Crosby's out of the car, so I mean.
Yeah.
Wow, man, this is
13 minutes.
Okay. All right, our leaders are pitting. Well, not our leaders, but the...
Holiday might have sped there. He's got a black flag next to his name now.
He does.
So let's see whether this pit stop is unnecessarily long from Harrison Holiday as he comes in. Crosby's kid...
You can look at the look on his face, would you?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's not pleased.
No, he definitely looks irritated for sure. Look.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, he's frustrated.
Changing tyres at least. Might as well now, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, might as well. Like I said, I thought that was going to be a bit of the strategy anyway, but... So we got Aguilar in the lead.
Now, Holiday, so he's only, 1 away from an incident point now. It's a penalty, for Holiday. So he's close anyway, but that was speeding. So that's 1 black flag, and I wouldn't imagine he's going to get through the next hour without another one.
No, probably not.
In comes Aguilar now, and Justin Bott will likely do the same here. Scott Mowry pitted on lap 1. He didn't start from pit lane, did he, Mowry? He did pit on lap number 1. So he will have to come in pretty shortly as well, but he might be able to go a lap further than Aguilar and Bott, who both come in now.
Maybe. I do want to see here. Well, he's slowly creeping in. Aguilar's ahead of him. Aguilar's up on the Jacks.
As well. I think you are right that these stops are going to contain a lot of tyre changes here in this first round.
Bach is up, yeah. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, again, that's kind of what I was tipped off to as far as these two here have had a nice little battle going on for several laps now. Remember earlier when Cox got off the track a little bit. This has been a good little battle.
It has been costing them quite a lot of time to Volpe, who's leading the prime class, but I think he's probably quicker than them both anyway.
Yeah, probably. But, I mean, he's certainly stretching it out, you know. I mean, I'm guessing that we're going to start seeing these GT3s pretty soon, you know, at this rate. I mean, probably where are we at? Basically on lap 20, going into lap 21. On 21. So, yep,
We've
there's Volpe.
We've just seen a retirement for David Turnbull in the last couple of moments, by the way, that we've been told might be worth a look because of his incident. Housen Holiday also disconnecting and giving up the ghost as well here at the moment. So we're down to 8 LMP2s so far in this race. But yeah, one of them due to a big moment for David Turnbull, so we're told. In towards turn number 6. Turns in, slides, catches it once, slides again. Oh, can't catch it another time. And he ends up in the wall pretty hard.
Wow.
Oh, there's a doctor, so he'll be all right. There's a doctor right there.
Was that you that I was doing the race with? No, I don't think so. That in a NASCAR race, when you spin and crash and the caution comes out, the ambulance lights turn on. You know how they always have the ambulance parked in like the infield?
Yeah.
When you crash, the ambulance lights come on when there's a yellow caution flag.
Could be quite an overreaction depending on what
I
the
know,
caution
but
was
it
for.
just seemed kind of cool the other night. We were doing this race, and a guy crashed right in front of the ambulance, and I saw the ambulance lights come on, so I rewound it 3 or 4 times just for the enjoyment's sake of it. So
Nice
Maury
detail.
made his pit stop now.
Yeah, and obviously after pitting on lap number 1 was able to go just a little bit further than the rest, but all that means that Blake Ward and Alan Aguilar are now the two fighting for the lead. Housen Holiday no part of this anymore, of course, but 40 minutes complete, the final LMP2 stops complete, and the GT3 stops in the next few minutes will be completed as well. Not long to go until their cycle is done.
Now your 2 pros now, pro leaders 1 and 2 are in the pits, and well, they're all coming in. It looks like the Pro-Am leaders, top 4 in Pro-Am, are coming in as well. As you can see there with the pit timer, I had it set on the different setting, so it wasn't giving me the pop-ups, so I felt like we needed that.
Well, we're very much in the GT3 window now. Cole Malley already on his way back out again.
Yeah, well, he's what was his lead before the pit stops? It was pretty significant, wasn't
it? Excuse me. Before the pit stops, it was 23 seconds, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Was that a sneeze, by the way?
No, just something stuck in my throat.
Have a sip.
Some of my
have a drink.
Some of my dinner coming back up again there. That wasn't. That was.
You should be a long ways removed from dinner.
Well,
considering it's what almost 3:30 in the morning there.
I eat as if I'm on American time, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, there you go. Otherwise, I'd be starving at this hour, wouldn't I? Goodness me. Anyway.
Yeah, you would be.
Mendoza still in front of Voigt here. These two will not leave each other alone.
No, it's been great battle all race.
Prams.
I'm glad to see this. This has been just fun. It really has.
That's the kind of thing you need in a long race, a battle like this. I mean, for the lead overall, it's still close as well, though Blake Ward has had quite extended times, actually, where he's been leader by a second or so. But that's going to come to an end now. The
heavy
LMP2s are...
traffic. Look
Oh,
at this.
no, that's not good for Aguilar. Just as I was saying, he was catching up here. He's
He just lost
been
2
slowed down
seconds
here.
right there almost, man.
Exactly. And there's a lot more to come, by the way. Look at that track map there, all the way up to David Volp, and down to, that was Basson and Welsh that they just passed. It's not very many big gaps, so some thick traffic in the next few laps.
So I just noticed something real quick. So Voigt has the cable running out the front of his, but they're very similar headsets, but Blake Ward does not have the cable out in front of his.
He does. Well, it's tucked behind his shoulder.
No, I'm talking about the little white cable that comes out by Voigt's nose.
Oh, I didn't see that one. I was
Yeah,
thinking
it's
the black
been,
one coming out of his head.
No, watch. He's got the one out of his head, but see the
yeah,
one in the front?
you're right. Is that like charging it or something?
No, I think he said no. I don't think it's charging. I think it's maybe for his or his earpiece, earbuds, or something. Maybe I don't know. He told us one time. I just don't remember what it was.
Yeah. Makes a change. Yeah, I don't remember, to be honest, either. But yeah, that was Mendoza getting back past Voigt again, was it? Or was
Yeah.
it just a
No,
side-by-side moment for just a while? These guys not in the same traffic that those pro leaders are in, so not likely to get split apart by any of that. So, I mean, there's no GT3s currently on the pit straight, which just shows you how far Mendoza has got to go to the next lap car.
Yeah, they've got a nice gap here for probably another 10 minutes or so. At least, this is a nice gap for those two. They're just out there doing their thing, enjoying good little battle.
It's a good fight between these two. Down to 20 in the field, by the way, such as the attrition in the first half of this race. I think there's been a lot of guys who have just found this very, very difficult here tonight. And obviously those who've been put off from starting this race at all, I suppose, by this circuit. A number of others who've actually been here have found this circuit very, very difficult as well.
Yeah, indeed. Quite difficult, actually.
I may be underselling it there.
Yeah, there's been it definitely has been interesting with the attrition here because of a lot of frustration. We've had several guys who quit and their car wasn't completely done. I mean, they could have continued on. They were not in a good spot, but Ricardo's pitting again. Did he have damage?
It's Rodrigo, by the way.
I said Ricardo. Yeah, you're right. Thank you.
I was about to say he can make it from here, but actually not as much time has passed as I thought. It's 45 minutes still remaining here, so maybe he can't make it. No. This is a very long stop, though.
It is.
You wonder what he did at his last stop. He's not long been in. That was a normal length pit stop there. Maybe this is a strategy. Did he take his short pit stop just then? Before this latest one? I'm not
Still,
entirely sure.
you can't go 45 minutes.
I mean, yes, he pitted from second, though. This is a strategy. He pitted from second there, and this is a strategy, but I agree. I don't think he can make that far.
I don't see how you can. We just watched. I mean, it's 45 minutes now. Everybody that pitted on like lap 22. We're on lap, we're 3. Maybe he can. Not that far, really. I mean,
Well, it's close, but I don't think so. I don't think so.
Oh, another black flag there. Is that a incident limit or was that a speeding coming into pit road situation?
I'm surprised if Schaefer's making a stop. I would guess incident limit, but we'll see if that can get confirmed.
We're getting typing coming in. That means it. Yep, incident limit. Wow. I really did not expect this level of incidents with this track and this many cars on the track. If there was 50 cars out here, yeah, maybe, We did this same track Wednesday night, do you recall having incidents like this?
Incident point limits, you
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
No, but there's a lot of differences here.
I mean, there are with the LMPs and stuff too. I mean, that does make it kind of a completely different race, really.
Yeah, I do think that this is one of those circuits where you absolutely can manage that, because yes, it's not one of those circuits where you're worrying about off tracks in terms of a slowdown penalty like you were at Zolder a week ago. You are worrying about the instant limit in terms of running a ride into the grass or the gravel,
Yes,
and
true.
dropping down the field as a result of that, and getting an incident point as relating to that as well. So I'm not surprised that we're seeing so much of it. Maybe the bigger surprise is that we didn't see more early in the week. But it's no surprise to me, really. And of course, you've got to remember that the incident limit for this race is the same as what it is for the hour-long races. So these are more strenuous anyway, no matter what circuit they're at.
Yeah, I guess that's true, right? Yeah, it is the same for the hour and a half and an hour race. That's true.
It's 17 for both.
Almost seems like that should be modified a little bit, huh? Maybe
Brought up to 21 or something, but I do feel like 17 is quite generous for an hour and a half. Well, not generous, but fair, I would say.
Apparently they don't feel that way this evening.
No.
Oh, Dubeck back in again? Black flag?
I'll take a guess what that's for.
No, I think Stevie Wonder could see that.
Crikey. Oh, dear.
Yes, well, got to throw a few out there. So, you know who Shaquille O'Neal is, right? The basketball player?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. See, this is sports. I know this.
Okay, yes.
I can do this.
So, Shaquille O'Neal lived in the same building as Stevie Wonder in Los Angeles when he played for the Lakers. And he swears that Stevie Wonder can see. No,
it's not true.
He does. Okay, so he got in the elevator. The elevator came down, and he got in the elevator, and Stevie Wonder was in the elevator, and he didn't say anything at all. He just got in the elevator, and Stevie Wonder said, "What's up, Shaq?" And and then there was something else too to the story. I don't remember, but he swears that Stevie Wonder can see. And I mean, Shaq is hilarious anyway, so to hear him, go on and on about that is quite funny. But
I would enjoy hearing that story, but I'm not sure I would take it as a factual document.
Well, maybe not, but he swears that Stevie can see, and you can Google that. I'm sure it's all over the internet. He is quite hilarious. I don't think people give that guy enough credit, Like, everybody kind of looks at him like he's, big dumb Shaq or whatever, because he kind of, how he kind of talks and all, But he, do you know that he owns over 50 brands? Like, he owns
I can't believe that.
Michael Jackson's brand. He owns Marilyn Monroe's brand. And the list goes on. And he owns, a lot of top chain. He's a big stockholder, majority owner of JCPenney, which you probably don't know who that is, but it's a pretty nice size American, like, I don't know, mall store or whatever you'd call it. Clothing and whatnot, shoes and furniture and stuff like that. But
we're getting posted paragraphs about Blindless now, which is.
Are we? Somebody said they love Shaq though. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I say it's a funny story, but it is not factually correct.
No, I'm sure he probably can see shadows or something, and I mean, there's no other shadow in the world like Shaq's.
Well, that is true. I will say one thing about from what I've seen about people who can't see very well or not at all. Their spatial awareness is something like you wouldn't believe.
Yes, and
hence maybe making somebody believe that they can see.
Right,
when
or
they're actually just spatially aware.
or the fact that maybe Shaq wears a certain cologne, or that somebody who doesn't see would be much more attuned to, or something. Who knows? I don't. Have you ever?
Your other senses get heightened, don't they? When
no,
one
of course,
taken
yeah.
away?
Have you ever seen the Eddie Murphy routine about Stevie Wonder?
No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So Stevie Wonder gets in the car with Eddie Murphy, and they're riding around, and and they start talking, and he's like, Stevie, look, man, that's not real impressive, this singing and playing piano and stuff. He goes, there's a lot of blind guys that can do that. He said, you want to impress me? Take the wheel.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's what he said. Oh. You want to impress me? Take the wheel.
I wouldn't want to be in that car.
I know, right? These two are back together again.
Yeah, they have been for, pretty much forever in this race, really.
It seems like it.
Yeah. Paul Basson managed just to get himself through there. He's still third in GT3 Pro. Last one standing now with Crosby and Houston out. Not sure whether Crosby
we are
gonna
literally
get back
down to 3 pros.
Yeah. Crosby being one of them who's messages just to tell us about his toddler waking up, which he's had to go and attend to, but might get back out again. I mean, if he does get back out again and do 5 more laps, he'll gain a place, so might be worth it. He's got a meatball flag next to his name, which might well stop that from happening. Unfortunately, he's got half an hour to fix it.
Yeah, I mean, that's he's still got some time here. Apparently, Jason Holland did not like my Stevie Wonder story.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, race control haven't got any incidents to look for at the moment, I suppose. So,
no. Well, we've thinned the crowds out enough now. There's not too many incidents, so he can Google up the Stevie Wonder story now. Look, don't blame me. Blame Shaq. Shaq's the one that tells the story, not me.
You're retelling it.
Yes, I'm just telling Shaq's story a little bit. He's just mad because he's a Tennessee fan, and Shaq ate Tennessee up when he was in college. That's all.
Oh, now you're going back a bit.
Yes.
That's sports knowledge that I don't have.
Yeah. Well, can you guess where Shaq played?
What do you mean? Like
where he played his college basketball?
Oh, no.
Do you know what team I support?
I've forgotten.
Oh. LSU. Louisiana State University.
Oh, yeah, that was it. Yeah. I must admit my 80s, 90s college basketball knowledge is not excellent.
No? Probably not so strong, huh?
No, not really. Well, look at David Volt, by the way. Catching up to Jed Cotterman here.
He is running down. I mean, I have to say, seeing Jed in a Porsche is interesting unto itself, he just showed up in the Porsche tonight. So I think that's why he didn't have any points, because I think he reset or something because he switched cars.
I did think it was strange that he didn't have any. But I didn't think anything of it, because
Well, yeah, he's missed a few weeks here and there from this league, the other league, whatever,
Yeah, so I didn't think too much of it, but I guess that would make sense. That the lead for Cole Malley now is getting absolutely huge. 35 seconds ahead of Jed Cotterman here in the lead for GT3 Pro is Cole Malley here. It's a really, really large margin that he currently holds, and he looks like he's on his way to a victory here. And with Zach Houston not doing well at all tonight, this adds an interesting dynamic as we get to the 1/3 mark of this season. That adds an interesting dynamic in GT3 Pro.
It does. Yeah. Well, I think anybody that knew Cole coming into these cars and felt like he was gonna eventually, hey, look who's in pit road, but it's not a black flag this time. Maybe this is actually a legitimate pit stop. I don't know. Who knows?
Oh, it's in the window.
Yeah, they. I guess we are actually. We're inside the window now, I would say. I lost my train of thought there. Oh, yeah, that anybody that knew Cole coming in, I mean, it was no secret how fast the guy was. And, if this turns out to be his first GT3 win in this or the Wednesday leagues, it will not surprise me for sure. He's so fast, man. The perfection that he ran in that GT4 car last year was absolutely insane. I mean, he literally won every race but one. Two. He skipped one after he had clinched the championship. But that he raced in, he won every one but one. And that was because he had a little pit stop thing where he pitted a little too long, too much fuel or something. I don't remember what it was, but it was a little pit stop snafu. Other than that, he set fastest lap, led the most laps, did all the things, in every single race. I mean, just absolutely dominated.
I'm surprised really that we've not seen any flashes of that really in the last few weeks, but this is certainly
it's a different
showing
car,
of that.
I mean, and and there's some fast guys in these cars too, maybe tonight's a little light, but I mean, just like Omet showed up, and when she knows the track, she's lightning fast. There's some quick guys. I mean, Daniel Small. There's several that are really quick. So look who's behind him. Our buddy who is not joining us, thank goodness.
Justin Bock finally turning his look around. He's had a better week this week than the last couple.
Indeed. What did he finish? Second Wednesday night, I believe.
I don't remember, but it was certainly better.
Yeah, I think it was second,
weeks.
maybe. I believe it was a pretty good finish. Yeah, it was definitely a good finish, but I don't know. Maybe it wasn't second, but I thought it was. But
He definitely didn't win.
These two here too. Look, we hadn't tuned back in a while up here, but these two here, they're back to within a second of each other. I mean, it had kind of spread apart because of that traffic a little bit, but Aguilar's running back down again.
Exactly, yeah. We haven't missed any fighting here at the front of the field. It's been taking a while to get back together again here, but as we approach the hour mark, we are seeing this fight come back again. I mean, imagine the scenes if this was the final lap coming up at the moment. Not this one. They would have got to. Well, it would have been close, wouldn't it? Goodness me. The pit stop would have been shorter, of course, and so they would have maybe got to the line at first. But yeah, this would have been very close, and Aguilar would have been willing them on to get another lap in. They might not have got another lap. Yeah, that would have been very close.
Really close.
The pit stop might have been shorter.
Really close. I think they would have maybe, but it was literally would have been by like less than about a tenth of a second or something.
Well, I've got half an hour more to settle this anyway, and another pit stop in the meantime as well. Expect to see that in 7 laps time or a little bit longer, somewhere around there. That will bring us to the final 20 minutes of this race pretty comfortably. So Blackward probably being first, then Aguilar, but maybe they'll decide to come in together. Maybe one of them would decide to go a little bit early and stop very soon, but we've already had the tyre change pit stop. This second one bound to be much shorter.
Yeah, these incident limits makes me wonder, like, who is close out there? Interesting. I'm not gonna. I probably shouldn't reveal what I see here, but
Are either of these two close?
Yes.
Aguilar?
No, neither. Well, it doesn't show me like that. I have to see an incident for it to tell me. So
right.
Okay, I see one of them, and the one I see is not close, but I don't see the other one. So I'm probably going to assume not that close.
Right. Well,
but there are a couple of names that are still out there and running in contention that are getting pretty close.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to see this leading battle interrupted really by incident limit.
No,
really.
no, we definitely do not want to see this battle interrupted. It just as much as we don't want to see this Mendoza-Voigt battle. Wait a minute, what? How did Mendoza get
He's a long way behind Voigt now.
a long way? What in the world happened? Did he pit again or no? Huh? Oh, he pitted.
It's not long enough for
no?
a pit stop.
No?
I wouldn't have thought it's long enough for a pit stop. No, he's only made. Oh no, no. He hasn't been in. That's
No, that's
Mario
what I
looking
got
at.
confused too. I saw the
Yeah.
two. What in the world has happened there?
Well, Voigt's in now anyway, so he's going to retake the lead actually now because John Voigt comes into the pit lane from the lead in the LMP2 Pro-Am class. Not sure why he's decided to make such an early pit stop here. He hasn't got a black flag or anything next to his name, but he is into the pits and he's serving that final pit stop of the day. There he goes, pulling to
tires.
a stop. And, he goes up on the jacks for a second time. Maybe that's why he's stopping early, so that he can spread it out evenly and take tyres both times.
Maybe, but this could bring Mendoza back in if he doesn't take tires. You know, if he stays out for a while and then doesn't take tires, he might close up some of that gap. But I want to know where all that gap went. Oh,
well, that is one thing. Aguilar's in now as well, by the way. So just after the 2/3 distance, Aguilar's in, and well, this is going to be interesting now with Blake Ward to see whether he responds. He probably can go another 5 laps or so, Ward, if he wants to, but Aguilar wants to split this race into thirds, and so comes in. He does not go up on the jacks, though, I don't think.
No. It'll be curious to see, like you said, what Ward does. I mean, he should be able to go at least 3 or 4 more laps. And he's out in clean air too. You know, that's pretty important reason not to pit. You know, I think anyway. Although the traffic has lessened a bit, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely fewer and further between. There's 12 GT3s here versus 8 LMP2s at the moment, and you know there's no real place in the field where it's really, really thick traffic as a result. Although, to be fair, Ward is in the busiest part of the racetrack at the moment as far as GT3s are concerned. The leader of the group, if you like, is heading their way over the start-finish line at the moment. Well, he's through the chicane, so there are quite a few cars for him to overtake in the next few laps.
In. I gotta know if he's going to take tires. He does.
Yes. Wow.
All
well,
right.
that stop. Who was that? Aguilar. 17 seconds for him in the box, so it would have saved him 5 seconds, i.e., not enough for him to get ahead anyway.
True. And to be fair, after these tires warm up, he probably would have lost that 5 seconds back anyway in difference in old and new tires. Although, if you look, the best time versus the last lap times are not that different.
No, I don't think 2 tyre changes is necessary, to be honest with you. I think they are just doing it for the sort of comfortability of it, because they've got the time to. It doesn't cost them too much more time to actually do it.
Right.
But I don't think it's necessary in these temperatures, really.
Well,
1 tyre change is enough, I think.
This pit stop staggering here is Tinker.
Oh,
who was that?
That was just in front of Bock. I don't know who that was, but that was early in the lap. Might have been Mendoza, actually. Might have been Mendoza.
I think it was, huh?
Yeah, there you go. He's in no danger of losing the place to Schaefer, by the way, who's just got another black flag for incident points.
I jumped back a ways here, so it's going to... Oh. Well, them cold tires are not treating him well at all. Look at this thing, would you?
Whoa.
This car is evil angry, man. Holy cow.
That is an outlap, I suppose,
Wow.
but...
Yeah, but that is crazy, man. That alone would stop me from taking tires unless they were horrible.
Well, yeah.
It was like he was on ice there.
Yeah. I'd say I do not think it's worth it taking two tyres, tyre sets, as it were, two new sets of tyres throughout this race. Hearing about Timothy Schaefer that he got another black flag there. He travelled to Charlotte today apparently for the Sim Expo.
Yes.
And he's using his brother's rig, so he's struggling with it a little bit more than he would be on his home rig.
Yeah. I wanted to be in Charlotte bad this weekend. That's where my son goes to college, but he's home, and we're moving in just a couple of weeks, so there was just no way I could get there for this one. But speaking of Charlotte, and speaking of the Coca-Cola 600 this weekend is also in Charlotte, how about Kyle Busch? What an incredibly sad story that was. Did you hear the reason? What happened?
I think so. Well, not from a verified source. But
well, his wife told the story that I saw, and she said that at Watkins Glen a couple of weeks ago, he's always had apparently very bad sinus issues, and he was having some problems, and after Watkins Glen, the pressure change and the G's there aggravated his sinuses really, really bad. And he went to a doctor and he got some kind of injection to deal with the pain of it. And they wanted him to sit out, and then he went ahead and raced again, I guess, and he won the truck race. That was his last career victory the other day. Oh, there goes Mendoza again. Oof.
Oh, through the chicane this time.
Who was that?
I know he's got a black flag, Mendoza.
Yep, that was it.
No need to guess what that's for.
No, he was close. He was the one that you asked if any of. Yeah, he was the one that was close.
See, there's no harm in saying.
Well, no, not after.
Well, no.
That's unfortunate, though. I mean, there goes our little fancy battle we had going, We literally do not have a battle inside of we got one that's almost close to a battle, and it's not even in class. But
worth saying that the GT3 pit stops haven't finished yet, so there might be something that comes up after they've done.
Yeah. I mean, they usually cycle back together again. That's how it goes in these endurance races. But yeah, so apparently that irritated his sinuses, and he went ahead and raced again, and then apparently he got violently ill, like bad, and they rushed him to the hospital, and it was serious right away, like big time serious, and then that was it.
Yeah, it's scary, isn't it, how quick.
I feel for his kids, man. He had already planned out the entire rest of his career to revolve around his son coming up in racing. When his son got to 16 years old or whatever it was, 17, he was going to retire from the Cup Series, go down and drive the truck with his son, because he owns a truck team, and he was going to let his son drive the short tracks, and he was going to drive the super speedways where you have to be older to get licensed or whatever. And then when his son came of age, he was going to turn that seat over to him and kind of just retire then and manage his son's career.
Yeah. Well, still a few years away at the time, so it just shows you how many years he planned to carry on, in the Cup Series. That would have been 5 years away or something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think for the good ones, getting up in the 50 range is probably in NASCAR kind of that age, even in...
Well, that's no mean feat, by the way. We shouldn't, brush over that as if that's easy to do.
No. But, look at Fernando Alonso. Fernando Alonso is older than Kyle Busch.
I know. That's crazy as well, isn't it?
I think if he was in a good car, I think he'd still be fast. He's just, Aston Martin has been junk, since he got there.
Yeah. Well, it's remarkable, really. Yeah.
I mean, he certainly still believes that he can win. And for that matter, I think Lewis Hamilton's about the same age as Kyle Busch, like 40 or 41, something like that.
Yeah, maybe just 40. Yeah.
And I certainly still think if you give Lewis Hamilton the right car, he can still win.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, I mean, he's not going to stop until he gets the 8th, is he? I don't think.
Oh, he'll never get another championship.
Wow.
I mean, I don't think he will. I mean, I don't think that he is in equipment that's going to win a championship in the next couple of years. And, I mean, I don't know how long they're going to keep him around at, whatever he's making, $60 million a year or whatever it is, when Ollie Behrman could get the same results out of the car for $5 million a year.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
I mean, maybe not the publicity.
Oh, exactly. That might be a factor.
So the only one who still hasn't pitted up here is Justin Bach.
Yep.
And
after a stop, by the way, Blake Ward has come out behind Aguilar by a big margin. I haven't mentioned it because it's not even close. 5.5 seconds.
Yeah.
But the puzzling part, 2.5 seconds lost by Ward in the stop. So there's 3 seconds missing there somewhere.
Yeah, well, it could have been outlap tires, cold tires, how they handled, if they put tires on, how they handled the tires, how aggressive they went out on their outlap to warm them up, all that matters too. Traffic with cold tires, that could be really a nightmare. My question is Justin going to just take a splash of gas here, no tires, which, if I'm being honest at this point, everybody else is pitted, so it doesn't matter. He was the one that told me that was going to be a strategy, 22 to somewhere 23 laps, and then a splash here at the end, about 10 laps worth, and no tires on this stop. So
I think definitely now he'll do no tyres. He won't be in this time, I would have thought. He'll be in next time. This will be lap 44, so another 22 lap stint, but there was no formation lap this time around, so I'd imagine he can go 1 lap further into the 23 laps for the first time.
Oh my word. I mean, I guess it's okay for me to say that. So Schaefer, who's had numerous incidents here, Schaefer's tires were down to 19% on his last stop.
Had he? I mean, surely he hadn't changed them.
Obviously not, right? I mean,
no, okay. Well, you say that. We did a 45 minutes race earlier today where the tyres were rubbish after 45 minutes.
That's true, but it was also 100 and it was like 1.7 million degrees on the track temperature.
Yeah.
It literally was like right at 60 degrees Celsius on the.
No, it's 54, but.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Still, yeah. Let me exaggerate it a little. It sounds better.
Only exaggerate by 20 degrees Fahrenheit or so.
That's not 20 degrees.
What, the difference between 60 and 54?
Is it?
Might be 15 or so. Oh, I'm exaggerating.
See? Now I want to know.
I don't really know. I know the difference. I know it's at the sort of lower range. Celsius, 1 Celsius is sort of 3 degrees Fahrenheit in terms of difference, but it's not quite that.
Yeah, but that changes as it gets higher.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it might not be.
Because that's my conversion, since I don't know, the metrics or whatever. So basically, in the lower ones, like if it's 20, I know that's roughly around 60, 65, and that's pretty close,
Yeah.
So
I'm mostly on guesswork as well.
Oh, okay. Well, you make it sound official, though. That's important.
Well, that is important. Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to bluff your way through something, you might as well at least sound like you know what's going on. I know this is going to shock you, but Jordan Cox and Oliver Brooks are pretty much nose to tail. Not right at this very moment, but now they are.
Well, only just Aguilar got through, but yeah, these two back together again. They've never really been apart in this race, have they? And good to see they're continuing that theme on with only 13 minutes left.
Yes. It reminded me of a song, but I won't ask you because that's pop culture. We won't do that.
I'll hide into nothing there. Justin Bock in after 45 laps, so he did manage 23 laps without a formation lap, so it's very much just a splash and dash to come for him.
Yeah, but I mean, he's still got no shot of, winning this thing. No matter how much shorter his pit stop is here, we'll see. I mean, he shouldn't need much fuel at all, though.
Oh, this is a bit long.
Yeah, longer than I thought. I mean, yeah.
Way longer.
Way longer, yeah. 13. I guess he took
13.
Yeah, well, that didn't really benefit him that much. I mean, 4 seconds over Aguilar, but.
If you look at it this way, Aguilar was so close behind him that Ward that he was never going to come out ahead of them anyway, even if he just did a drive-through.
No.
And Scott Mowry is still, even after that, 25 seconds behind. So he might have just been making absolutely sure he's got enough fuel there, because his third place finish was pretty much unavoidable there.
Yeah, it really was, actually. That's very true. I really would love to see Aguilar and Blake Ward get back together again, but there's no way that's really going to happen short of Aguilar having some sort of incident.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that stop has really done for Blake Ward there. An undercut from Aguilar, undercut of 5 laps and a 2.5 seconds shorter pit stop. And, well, the gaps continue to extend after the stop. So I don't know what the deal is, why it all happened, but it's given Aguilar a cruise, really, to the end here.
Uh-oh. This ain't good.
Oh, not good. David Volpe, the leader in the Pro-Am class of GT3, spins through turn 2, and he hits the wall as well.
Yeah, that was a pretty significant little pop there. I got a feeling that is not going to be good. Nope.
Well, he might have some damage here. What does Oliver Brooks decide to do in his pit stop as well? Because he's in right now. Jordan Cox carries on, but if Volpe has got serious problems here, then he will not be contending for this race win. It will instead be Brooks and Cox. Volpe continues out the pit lane now after just 11 seconds. Looks like he might be all right.
I don't know. We'll see. But
I think he's fine.
Well, they do have a fast repair, so.
Exactly.
And it does appear to be fixed if I'm looking at it. Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah,
I literally
to be honest,
hate this camera with a passion, but I'm going to do it just for the sake of, it's not as damaged as it was for sure.
I mean, I don't think it was that badly damaged anyway, to be honest. It was more the time loss in the spin and whatever that was a big moment here, although the gap's still nearly 7 seconds. I mean, if this was the run to the end and there were no more pit stops to make, that would have been a real sort of moment where you thought, well, Volpe's lost this race in that crash. But
that's true.
That's not really going to be the case with the spin.
No, I mean, and again, he only took an 11-second pit stop. So where is Daci? Okay, so Rodrigo, he did that pit. And, who got, Dubeck got the X.
Goodness me.
He must have had like 137 incidents there or something.
Obviously not that many, but
no, I was obviously playing, but
yes, yeah, but exaggeration again. But he did have 3 or 4 drive-throughs. That's not an exaggeration.
Well, if you hear me tell enough stories, you'll realize there's an exaggeration in some of them, some not. You just have to figure out which is which. So
31 incidents for the disconnection for Dubeck.
31. Wow.
Yeah, so
I mean,
what's that?
That's still pretty
down
impressive.
To one
I
every
have to
3
say.
minutes.
Yeah, well, he really changed his average, didn't he?
Tripled his average there towards the end.
So Volpe is now done pitting, and he's still back out in the lead by what? 3.5 seconds.
Well, it's going to be a little bit more. Cox is still going to get up to speed here, but actually one of the bigger stories is Cox actually getting in front of Brooks by a bit of a margin.
Yeah, a bit of a
Might
margin.
be able to hold that to the end.
Yeah, 2.5 seconds there. And it really came on the down pit road time. About a second or so on the down pit road time and about a second. Let's see here if
Yeah, Cox was 1.7 seconds quicker in the box.
So, yeah, let's see if this is going to give us what we
So
want.
that's just one measurement, but this is the full breakdown of everything.
Yes. And they are
Cox isn't
right
even in
there.
that list there.
Well, you can see Brooks was clearly slower by on counting that the in and out laps here. We're talking about like 15 to 20 seconds. It looks like.
I'm trying to decipher what the hell's going on there.
Don't hold back. How you really feel? How about this? Does this help any?
Oh God.
This is
I'm trying to find. Well, first of all, now Brooks isn't even in that list.
well, no, because he had a
It was too slow.
a bad
But
pit
Cox
stop.
isn't in that list either. That's what's
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. Ah, right. They're not finished yet. That's why.
Oh, yeah, because they're on their out laps right now.
Yeah, there we go. But Cox is going to get that now because he's finishing his outlap. But Brooks isn't in that list, of course, because but that doesn't make sense. Total cycle would be 40 seconds quicker for Cox. That doesn't make any sense, does it?
I don't know. It's just facts.
Oh no, there's Brooks. Oh, there we go. No,
I went back to the other one.
36 seconds difference. That's not right, surely. It wasn't 36 seconds slower.
Well, where is he at now in relation? No, I
He's
mean
only
just a few seconds. So yeah,
It's only 2.5 seconds. A bit dramatic. You didn't lose half a minute.
That's rubbish.
Yeah, I didn't say that.
I did.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. Well, maybe we just don't understand it because
Yeah, I'd be willing to bet that would be considerably likely. John Voight has been sent straight back to pit lane for his connection to iRacing.
No.
And that is going to turn the LMP2 Pro-Am race on its head. He was serving a slowdown at the time. Not that matters now.
Oh,
He's going to drop behind Mendoza with this incident, and maybe even Schaefer if he can't get in quickly enough.
Man, I hate that.
You can see he's still there at the PC trying to work to get
it's-
back in again.
That's terrible, man. Like I said, I don't care if somebody crashes you out over the most stupid thing ever. At least it happened on the track, Equipment failures and internet issues, man, just should not play a part in this. Look at this. Paul Bassett is all over Jed Cotterman's butt here.
I mean, how Jed has let this happen, I'm not sure. Hassan was miles behind after that incident on the run towards turn 1 on the opening lap.
Well, to be fair, I've never seen Jed drive a Porsche before. I've known the dude for a couple seasons now, at least 4, and I've never seen him drive a Porsche.
I know, but nobody's forcing him to.
No, but he still may not be comfortable. I mean, comfort in a car is one thing. Doing a 90-minute race in a car, is another. I mean, Cole Malley's almost a half. Well, he is a half a lap ahead practically.
Yeah.
So
43 seconds.
You can see where Jed is right there. We got him highlighted in white, and I'm going to switch it to Cole Malley. And look where he's at. It's not a half a lap, but it's actually not quite as far as I thought it was. But
it's still impressive.
If I'm going to exaggerate, the track map needs to help me.
Yeah. Well, 3.5 minutes remaining here, and Aguilar just making his way around the back half of the lap. So 2 more laps to go, and he gets to the line. 2.5 to go as it stands right now. Until he can take a race victory.
Voight's back
here
out
from
there, right? No,
Mugello.
he's not.
No,
He's off. He's done. Look, he's getting out of the rig.
Well, after trying for a little bit, getting back in to no avail.
Oh, man.
No point in trying anymore now. He's probably going to be out there for another lap or so. So he will end up 3rd out of 3 in LMP2 Prime here, after leading for so long.
And Volp, how big is his lead now? Almost 2 seconds. Why is Oliver Brooks back in the pits?
Whoa, yeah.
Oh, he had an incident.
Something confusing to Jason Holland. I can't tell you what he said, but... oh, whoa! That's got to be some sort of failure as well for Brooks, who's not got much control over that Mercedes.
All right, I got to see that one more time.
Almost like he let go of his wheel there, like what happens when you let go of your wheel and it just rocks from side to side with the force feedback.
Yeah, I don't know. That's very strange for sure. How unfortunate, man. It's like we're down to the last, 2 minutes of this race and we're losing guys that have been in contention the whole time.
Yeah.
So with, let's see how many laps are we going to get left. Where's our leader at here?
White flag at the line, it will be.
Is he going to, yeah, okay.
Give us, 53 laps here tonight at Mugello in the first of 2 endurance round this season. The next at Barcelona, which will be the final race of the season.
This race brought a lot of action, but it didn't bring a lot of passing. It wasn't like a lot of, there was some, but more of the action that we saw was just by crazy incidents and, just kind of nuttiness, so to speak.
Yeah, I think that's fair, and some of that, to be fair, credit can be given to the fact it's a 90-minute race rather than a 60-minute. It just feels, despite the fact it's only an extra half an hour as the white flag comes out now, that this has been much more like an endurance, as the name suggests,
yes.
And the 60-minute race has been much more like sprint races that have been very busy from start to finish. This has much more felt like an endurance.
Yeah, I agree with that statement 100%. And, it's definitely had the feel of an endurance race, for sure.
Yeah, quietening down towards the end now, but the class winners have still got to bring it home. There is Mali, who will not be over the line that long after Aguilar to go on and win this race. David Volp will be the last of the class winners to come across the line. Only 3.5 seconds in front of Cox. They're going to be the last 2 over the line, I think, at the moment, with the way that Aguilar is coming in towards the final sector now. Into that chicane again. He's now really extending his advantage over Blake Ward, and he's going to gain points on him tonight as well. He was 33 behind him after the opening 3 rounds of the championship in this championship defence. Well, maybe this will just turn things round the right way for him in that number 1 car, because this has been a dominant display, not just a smash and grab, but a proper win for Aguilar. 13.5 seconds in front of the driver who's looking to challenge him for the most part in this championship defence season for Alan Aguilar. Over the line here at Mugello in the Bitepoint Racing Sports Car Challenge, Alan Aguilar wins the first endurance race at Mugello. He weaves from side to side, pleased with his afternoon as he closes the championship margin and wins that first enduro of the season.
Who's going to be
further
next
behind? Cole Malley is going to be next over the line here, coming into the final turn. He is going to win this race by almost half a lap. Bassen's got a black flag behind, although that's not going to matter. It just means that he won't get past Cotterman for second place in GT3 Pro, but Cole Malley will take a dominant victory here in the GT3 Pro class. A pole lights to flag victory from him as he comes across the line. In the background, Roderick Mendoza is going to come across the line, and what a great victory it will be for him as well. Not many would have predicted this at the start of the day, but the last one standing out front, the only one in Pro-Am to finish ahead of all the GT3s. Roderick Mendoza 6th overall and wins in the Pro-Am class. A great persistent drive from him to go on and win here.
Yeah, indeed. Good solid win. And I guess Volpe he has not crossed yet, has he?
No, he's going to get that pleasure in a moment. Only 3 seconds back to Cox, so he's been pushed all the way in the end with that spin through turn 2, delaying him just before his final pit stop of the day. Now he comes out the final turn. Just hope he's got enough fuel to actually power out, and he does. So, nearly 3 seconds his gap at the line, made a lot closer than it otherwise should have been, really.
Yeah, I mean, he did survive that well, though, and he was able to get his car fixed and back out on track and short pit stop and all that. So this Paul Basson black flag, you say, oh, it's not really going to affect. They're paid on overall points, though, man. 40-second penalty for finishing with the black flag? Huh?
No. It's class points. It's class points. He'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
He'll be fine. I would have thought with that black flag.
Yeah, well, if it is class points.
Yeah.
Okay. See, that's a distinction between the two that I need to remember.
Yes. I mean, I guess because we've got car classes here as well as driver classes, it makes it different. But
yes,
doesn't every series does it differently, I suppose. So there you go. But anyway, let's have some race results and see who finished where at the end of an hour and a half of racing, the endurance round in the Bitepoint Racing Sports Car Challenge. In GT3 Pro-Am, David Volpe does get home by just under 3 seconds in the end, ahead of Jordan Cox. Justin Welsh ending up on the podium there, ahead of Jeremiah Cohn. Rodrigo Desi in 5th place for the current championship leader. So we'll be coming under threat by Volpe now. Chris Grondin also getting to the end there in a reasonable time, along with Lorenzo Rujo. Oliver Brooks retired quite late on there, as we know, and RJ Dueck getting the disqualification. Blake Peaton and Tyler Crow retired very early on in that race tonight. In GT3 Pro, Cole Malley took the victory by nearly half a lap in the end, ahead of Jed Cotterman and Paul Basson, who did have that black flag that in the end won't matter because Zach Houston, Francis Crosby and Ahmet Ohm all retired very early on into that race. LMP2 Pro-Am was won by Roderick Mendoza, in the end quite a long way ahead of Timothy Schaefer and John Voigt, who had that late disconnection which dropped him down quite a long way in terms of laps, but obviously only 3rd in class. And then overall in the LMP2 Pro class, Alan Aguilar wins by 13 seconds in front of Blake Ward, with Justin Bott rounding out the podium. Scott Maury, the only one of the LMP2 pros to get a penalty in front of Justin Negretti. David Turnbull and Harrison Holday retired very early on from that race. Let's have a chat to Alan Aguilar, shall we, who's won tonight overall. And Alan, congratulations on the victory. It was close between yourself and Blake Ward for some time, but that final pit stop seemed to settle it. Just what do you think was the difference in that final phase of the race there?
Yeah, I think that final stint, track was cooling down. I was able to find a bit more time, and yeah, I went for a huge undercut, and glad it finally paid off this time.
Well, yeah, 5-lap undercut, and it certainly did work out this time. You mentioned that because Blake Ward has been, or was, 33 points ahead of you coming into this round of the championship after the opening, 3 rounds of the season before this one. Do you feel like this could be a bit of a turning point in your season to try and get that title back again, get that championship lead back again, first of all?
Yeah, I sure hope so. I have, as the kids say, locked in, so hopefully I can get a few more wins and make up that deficit to Blake.
As the kids say.
As the kids say.
You sound pretty young yourself.
To be fair, I use that phrase as well.
So I do have a question for you, though. It's been no secret that we've talked about your slowdowns over the first couple of races. Obviously, if you watch the broadcast back, we kind of – well, no, we did. I mean, we kind of harped on them a little bit, and tonight you got close to the incident limit, but you didn't crack it. And is that something that you're working on trying to improve, or is that just a product of pushing as hard as you're pushing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just pushing hard. This season I'm pushing really hard because Blake has put up huge competition. So, those incidents are just me trying to keep up with him.
Fair enough.
Yeah, well, congrats on beating him tonight and taking the win at Mugello, and thanks for chatting to us at the end as well.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Alan Aguilar, the winner tonight from Mugello, in front of Mendoza, who joins us now. Welcome in, good to have you with us, and congratulations on a Pro-Am victory that in the end was high drama because John Voigt had that late problem with iRacing, staying connected into the server, and you were able to take the victory. Just talk us through what you were feeling as you took the lead there late on.
Oh, well, I honestly don't know how to say. Generally, after I lost the lead and like before the second pit stop, I generally thought it was over, and I just slowed my pace and tried to keep it safe to keep that second place at least. And then I just saw the disconnected message, and yeah, I won finally.
Well, look, there's no. You can't give up, and that's a prime example. If this would have been an hour race, you would not have won. But you stuck in there, you slowed it down, you kept your car safe, and in the end, that paid off and you won. So congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you feel about the rest of the season going forward now with Mike Walsh and Jacob Sheridan not here today? You'll be getting a lot closer to the championship lead. So how do you feel about the rest of the season coming up?
Well, I feel I have a chance to win the championship. I just have to keep consistent with my results. It would be nice to win, in my opinion.
That'd be great. So how about giving us a little something in your native language for anybody that may be watching and supporting you or that potentially speaks your native language? How about saying a little something for us?
Bueno, pues la cosa más importante para ganar las carreras es pensar en no perder y siempre ser positivo en todo. Yeah, that's it.
Congratulations on the win, and thanks for chatting to us at the end. Thanks very much. That's Matías Mendoza, Roderick Mendoza. Still
just
can't
Mendoza.
Just Mendoza,
Just
but
Mendoza.
that's
We're just going to call him just Mendoza. We're going to leave just in there. That's going to be his new first name. Just Mendoza.
If he doesn't make his mind up, we'll give him a first name if he's not too careful. Anyway, Cole Malley has taken the victory in GT3 Pro tonight and joins us as well. Cole, congratulations on a dominant victory tonight. There was nobody anywhere near you really at any stage. Is that what you were expecting from Mugello, or has this taken you by surprise?
Oh, absolutely not. Wednesday was rough, to say the least, and there are a lot of good drivers in the Bitepoint League, so I was expecting a very strong challenge, but I'm happy with the result.
Oh yeah, and that strong challenge never really arrived. I mean, one of your big rivals for perhaps the season, Zach Houston, retired very early on. You will have certainly gained points on him tonight with this result. Do you see this battle between the two of you going all the way down to the wire this season?
I mean, I certainly hope so. Zach's a great driver, and I'd love to have a tight battle all the way to the end. Of course, I'd like to win, but you know what? If we just have a good battle, that's all I can ask.
Well, it would be great to watch if we can see it. Congrats, Cole, on the dominant win tonight.
I have
here
to
at
say
Mugello.
real quick. Cole's been a friend of the channel for a long time now. I'm glad I was here to see your first GT3 win in these leagues. I'm sure that I know you've won some stuff on Saturdays and another deal, but as far as these leagues and where I know you from, it's great to see you get that first victory in the GT3, switching over from the GT4s from last season. I guess my question is, what took so long?
Hey, there are some really good drivers. That's all I'm to say.
Oh, no, I'm just picking on you, of course. You know that. But congratulations, man. Like I said, most of us never had a doubt, so glad to see it come to fruition for you so quick. And now you can just throw yourself full on into this championship.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. And by the way, folks, just for you to know, the fancy color graphics and everything that we have that all match together. That's all because of Cole there. He's the one that helped write all the program or the code that makes all that come together and match and look all good. So you can thank Cole for that as well. So thank you, buddy.
Of course. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Cole Malley, the winner tonight from GT3 Pro here at Mugello tonight. GT3 Pro-Am taken by David Volp, and he joins us now as well. David, welcome in. And how are you feeling at the end of that race? Because that was quite a lot closer than we imagined it would be towards the end there for yourself.
Tired. Long race. Pretty long race.
It was a long race.
I know it was a long race, but I'd imagine you'd be feeling a bit more relieved that it was over and you were still in the lead, to be honest, after your late spin.
Yeah, I thought the spin took me out. I was trying to scare Jed and, spun myself out.
Well, in the end, it didn't matter, thankfully, because you were able to go on and take the win. And with Rodrigo Desi having issues early on, you'll close on him in the championship as well. Do you see it as just the two of you fighting for the season, or are there others who you think can get involved?
I think other people are catching up. Me and Dossie seem to have tendencies of spinning out, so I'm sure they'll catch up.
We'll see. But congrats, David, on the win in Pro-Am, and thanks for chatting to us at the end as well.
You need to put the crayon livery back on. At least in one of these leagues. I need my crayon livery to come back.
Okay, I'll put it on next time.
You are digging with that shovel.
No, it's been, to this point we've had several messages back and forth, and it's all good. It's all in good fun.
Yeah,
my kid drew that.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's exactly right. What a great dad you are, running that livery that your kid drew.
Oh well. Anyway,
congratulations, man.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. I'll see y'all.
David Volp, the
he
winner
bought right
in
into that kid
GT3
thing.
Pro. Well, yeah, eventually, yeah. Once he's gotten over the fact he's been given a child, he
has been given a child.
He's gotten over that shock, and now he's embracing it. But yeah. Anyway, if you don't know the story, you go back and watch the other rounds or something.
Yes.
It's a long story. But that's just about it from here at Mugello. I mean, as I said, just towards the end of that race there, properly felt like an endurance race, that one.
It did.
Amazing, really, considering it's only half an hour longer than our normal sprint races. But, yeah, that probably felt like a long test for the drivers tonight.
Honestly, the thing that caught me the most was the attrition right towards the end. Just everything kind of came – well, I was going to say came together, but it's almost like everything kind of fell apart. In like the last 15 minutes, we had several of our great battles that lasted, 60 minutes or more, some of them, and then just kind of, they all just kind of shook apart a little bit there right towards the end.
Yeah.
But, I guess that's that extra distance, and the extra time
exactly.
in the seat.
Exactly. And that will... and that will be it for endurance racing until the very end of the season. Barcelona in many weeks' time, couple of months' time, when we go racing for that final race of the season. But that is it from us here at Mugello tonight. Big thanks to everyone who's been tuned in to the Bitepoint Racing Sports Car Challenge here tonight. I've been Neil Leary alongside Jim Cunningham. We'll be back next week from the Red Bull Ring, so I hope you can join us then. But until then, it's goodbye for now.